Hello. Guess what time it is? It's tea fall time. Today we are making pickles. These are cucumbers from my garden. I have more over there to the end. Cucumbers are just growing. When we first got the first couple of cucumbers out, me and my neighbor, we were just slicing them and eating them because they are so tasty. I was over here and he was just like, oh my goodness, these cucumbers are delicious. So he has a surprise in store for him. He has no idea that I will be giving him a jar of pickles that I make today. He better be glad that I'm giving him this jar of pickles. And the only condition that I have for him is that he better bring my jar back, because jars cost too much for him to be keeping a jar of mine. So my spices that I am going to add to my jars, just to let you know, jars are in my Tefal. They're getting sterilized. They're getting ready to go so that we can go ahead and put our brine inside once we get our cucumbers chopped up. Fresh cucumbers from the garden. Fresh cucumbers from the garden. Garlic cloves that I will be smashing up and adding to the jars. Black peppercorns. Hot pepper flakes. I gotta have those. My Himalayan salt. I am going to put some mustard seeds in it. I am going to put some coriander seeds in it. And of course I need my cloves. So a clove is going to go in each jar. We will start slicing up our pickles for our dill pickles. Let's get started with making our brine. So in our brine, we're going to use both distilled vinegar and Bragg's apple cider vinegar. I'm going to use 1 cup of distilled vinegar and a half a cup of apple cider vinegar, and I think that's it. So let's get started with the brine, and we're going to use a cup of water for the brine. So cup of distilled, half a cup of Bragg's apple cider, and 1 cup of water. I actually already still have some brine in here from when I made my spicy pickled green beans. So, you know I ain't gonna throw nothing away. Turn on my stove. Cup of distilled vinegar. Half a cup of apple cider vinegar. I think I can remember taking my daughter when she bought these. It was during COVID, and I drove her so she could get them. They brought them out to the car. I'm going to put a bay leaf in here. I'm also going to chop up a jalapeno, and I'm going to add it to my brine liquid, seeds and all. And we're going to get some jalapeno inside of the pickling. So 1 big jalapeno chopped up, add to the brine liquid. And let's get a cup of water. One cup of water. Now what I have in here sterilizing is 8 paint jars. And we will water bath can the pickles for 10 minutes because they're paint jars. Let's start. Once my jars have been sterilized, we will take them out and we'll add our seasonings to them to get them pickled. But in the meantime, let's get this cucumber assembly going. So I left 1 jar out And that one jar is my cheat jar. Why is it my cheat jar? Because I'm gonna hold the pickle, the cucumber up to the side of it, make a little mark with my finger, and then I know where to cut. So I'll put my cucumbers over here. Got my knife. And there we go. Take my ends off, use that for compost. Stand it up, go straight down. Slice. Slice. Now, I don't know how big you want yours, but we like a nice sized pickle. So let me just fit it in here and see what's happening. And that's pretty good. That's a good nice fit. So I know that we're doing the right thing now. Now I'm gonna save all of my little ends that I make over to the side, and those could be dill pickle chips. Thinking with my noggin. Now since I've already got one pickle and one cucumber cut, now I don't need to use my jar again for the indentation. I can just go in, use one of my slices, and then cut. And now I know that they'll all be the same size. I'll finish slicing and we'll be back. Okay. You're gonna sterilize the jar. Video. Before I start packing these, I'm gonna pour out my sterilizing water and fill it with water bath water. Okay, so we got fresh water, getting ready for the canning process. We got our sterilized jars, we got our brine, we got our seasonings, measuring spoons. After I cut up the pickles, the ends were left, so I just cubed those, so we're gonna put those, make dill pickle chips. Let's start adding the pickles. Or cucumbers, they're not pickles yet. Stand them upright. Oh, wait a minute, I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's put our seasoning in the bottom of the jars first. I'm gonna put a half a teaspoon of everything except for red pepper flakes. That's gonna be a fourth a teaspoon. Fourth teaspoon of red pepper flakes, each jar. Black peppercorns. These are tiny, so about 4 each jar. Cloves. I'm gonna put 2, well, 1 in each jar. 4 teaspoons of coriander. You know, I said half, but it's looking like I'm doing 4 of each spice. Four teaspoons of dill. Oh, mustard seed, sorry. Now 4 for dill. Now, add the pickles. I mean, the cucumbers. garlic clove in each jar. Smashed. Spears are filled. Now let's do our chips. I'm gonna add my cotton candy peppers to these. It's brine time. Inch head space. Debubble. Wipe our rims. With vinegar and paper towel. Now let's put our lids and our rings on. These have been sitting in boiling water. I'm going to use 2 metals, regular lids. Ouch. Finger tight. That seemed like that was finger tight. Put it in the water. Finger tight. Now my tattlers. Got my gasket and my plastic reusable tattler lids. Tighten those a different way. Hold your finger on it and add a little vinegar to the water. Keep it from clouding up. Want to make sure my jars are covered. Put my lid on. And keep it on steam, and we're going to let it boil. Once we get up to a boil, we'll put timer on 10 minutes. After 10 minutes, leave it in here for 5 minutes, let it cool down, and then take the lid off and see what we got. Hello, it's the next day, so let's check our pickles. Pickle spears with the metal top. Okay. Tatler dill pickle chips. So we did it. Thank you for joining me. Happy canning. Bye.